G'day, everybody, and welcome back to the Camera Life podcast. It is the Random Photography Show. It is Monday, the 6th of July. And tonight on the show, we've got a lot to look forward to. So stick around. We're going to talk about a brand new camera that has entered the market, this time from Godox, of all people. Interesting. Very interesting little bit of kit that is. What else have we got? We've got all the latest industry news. Once again, there's a lot of rumors, but there's also a lot of confirmed lens releases and a few cheeky patents that point to some more cameras being released sometime this year. And so we'll cover that off. We're going to catch up with Justin, see what he got up to over the weekend. He was out and about with a camera. And also we're going to look at your images. That's right. Every week on the Random Photography Show, you can send in an image or two or a short series of images, and we'll bring them up on the show throughout the Random Photography Show. We'll bring them up and we'll talk to them and showcase whatever it is you've sent to us. So if you want to be involved in that, we'll cover that off in a little bit more detail later. But first and foremost, we are joined by the boss. G'day, Justin. Greg. How are you, sir? Busy.
I'm good. I'm tired. It's been a weekend. I went on an adventure, a photography adventure. So 9 hours of driving and a lot of photos, but none to show you. None to show you tonight. They're going to wait a little bit.
Nothing yet.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I want to marinate them a little bit, sous vide them, and then not bring them out until they're perfectly medium rare.
Chef's kiss. Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. Chef's kiss.
So I've got a different photo to show tonight from a little while ago. But yeah. Went on an adventure up to the Hattah Desert Race just outside of Mildura, which is like a 4.5-ish hour drive from Bendigo, and left 4 a.m. early Saturday morning and got up there, stopped in at Lake Tyrrell. Dennis has clicked here, the lake, stopped in at Lake Tyrrell. It's an amazing place. It's very beautiful. I got there, I was sort of on the clock trying to get there before sunrise, sorry.
Yeah.
So left at 4 a.m., got to Lake Tyrrell about 10 minutes before sunrise. So didn't really have a chance to go anywhere other than there's like a viewing platform, the bit where there's the Lake Tyrrell sign. They just put signs up everywhere now. And Bendigo's got a sign.
Yeah, they do.
Everywhere's got a sign. And so, went to the sign bit, and I wanted to go. I'd already sort of thought that I could go further down and around the lake and sort of get away from that main area. There was like 2 or 3 other cars there before sunrise, so not busy or anything, but there were other people around. I was like, I want to go somewhere else, but it's been so wet. All of the tracks around the lake are just full mud. Like you would need a nice 4-wheel drive. The van wasn't going to make it. It was definitely going to get stuck. Like it was proper mud.
Yeah.
So I went for a walk and flew the drone, but it was a pretty drab and dreary morning. It was like clouds. The sun poked through the clouds for a little bit. I got some photos that I'm happy with, but Phil Thompson had sent me some inspiration from his trip to Lake Tyrrell a few years ago. He's I was there for 2 nights, and it's just like 10 absolute bangers. Like just like the most amazing sunrises and sunsets with colors of gradients and a mirror image off the lake, and mine look nothing like that. So anyway, I'll bring them. I'll bring them up next week, I think. Yeah. Other than that, it was a great weekend. Shooting Hattah was really, really fun. Never shot in that way before. In a way where I'm not shooting lots of action. It was really focused on the people competing. So a lot of shots of them preparing in the pits, the moment before the start, the boys were all nervous and, getting sort of reassured by their family. So that's what I was there to shoot, not the like roosting around berms and spraying dirt everywhere sort of stuff. I did get a little bit of that, but not much. So anyway, that was
we certainly look forward to seeing those images, and maybe when you are ready to share them, you can talk about what gear you chose to take with you on this trip. Because we had a little conversation before you left. And I was saying pair it back, but you were getting cold feet about the pairing back bit.
Well, we'll go through that. I shot some point of view video. Finally, I almost didn't. I took the stuff up there. That was the plan. Didn't do anything at Tyrrell. And then I didn't do anything on the first day of Hattah, and I was almost like, it's going to be another thing where I just didn't have the drive to make a video. And I slapped it on, and I think I've got some cool footage, so I'll try and trim that into a little something as well. And once I've got the images ready, we'll go through the thought process of what I chose to shot it with, the pros and cons, and whether everyone thinks it turned out. What was I going to say? I saw a comment here. Felicity said, the Tyrrell Master said, so much water in Tyrrell, so droning not as good. I'm glad you said that, because it looked like there was definitely more water in it, but I've never been there, so I don't know what other people have experienced there. It didn't have that salt flatsy mirror reflection thing going on, and there was a light breeze, so there was sort of ripples and stuff on the lake. So when I put the drone up, you weren't getting, sort of the textures and reflections of color and stuff that you see in other people's images. And I thought, man, I just suck. But maybe it wasn't just me, but I think it was mostly me. I'm sure if Felicity was up there, she would have found some gold, I'm sure.
Yep. So, no doubt.
But
no doubt.
An amazing location to explore with a little more time and preparation, and maybe a Felicity or a Dennis or someone who knows what's going on up there to show me around.
Absolutely. Speak of the devil.
Yeah. Dennis says there are early plans for a pre-BFOP workshop up there. Wink, wink. Well, sign me up.
Yeah.
I mean,
how far is Tyrrell from Bright?
It's nowhere near it. It's like the opposite way.
6 hours, 7 hours,
it's not
maybe?
even close at all.
Might as well drive to Adelaide.
Yeah. We're basically driving towards Dennis and then back to Bright. But it would be worth it for that, depending on how early it is, depending on when it is. We'll make that happen for sure.
That'd be very cool.
Since we're already chatting, should I see who else has been in the chat? Who was here?
Yeah, let's say good day to some people.
Of course, it was the regulars, Dennis, Felicity, and Philip Johnson. G'day, John Latimer. Good evening.
Hey, John.
Apparently it's chilly in the Blue Mountains. It's chilly sort of it wasn't that cold this morning here in Bendigo though. It's not too bad.
Although I have been seeing Philip's every morning he posts what the weather is at the time up in the Blue Mountains where he lives. Pretty chilly. Like it's impressive to see that like it's 2 degrees at the time, but the feels like is often below zero.
Yeah. That's what gets you. The feels like. Yeah. Feels like going back to bed. So David Leparati, good evening. John Pickett.
Hey, David.
Paul's here. Dennis says there's a bloody new Sony I must own. It's been a while. Yeah, I've been so busy. I haven't even looked at that. I didn't know if it was out or still a rumor. Is it out? What is it, the FX5?
I don't know if it's been launched yet. I collated most of the news this morning. Let me have a quick squeeze while you say good day to some peeps.
Yeah, who else is here? At LPG.
No, I don't think it's out.
I've bought some cheese and crackers to eat as I watch the show. Hey,
oh my God.
That's smart.
That's very civilized.
Is your name different? Have you been in the chat before, or is this the first time? Either way, love it. Good to see you. Tweak Productions, evening from Laurelton, New South Wales. Getting my landscapes on. Nice.
Nice work.
Shamit Shah, Parabellum, Roy Bixby. First version of any camera like the Godox usually has bugs. Yeah. I don't know if the Godox has even got enough features to have bugs.
Or be called a camera.
That's also true. Right. What else? Phil, Greg Carrick. Hi, chaps and chicks. Here for the first half of the show, then off to take photos. Well, hopefully we'll get to your photo before you have to disappear. We'll see. There's a lot. We'll get into them early tonight. It's a big image week. They're getting bigger and bigger. Phil Thompson said you need to be able to walk across the lake. There's no way I could have walked across the lake. It was like, it got deep. Not deep, but I would have been up to my knees to waist, I'm sure, fairly quickly. Yeah.
Well, we got a lot of rain last week. And I think Felicity, where she lives, just outside of Bendigo, isn't it? What's it, Gorong? Is that the name of the place?
Yeah, going on.
Yeah. I think she said they just had 100 mils of rain on their
Yeah.
property and photos of all the dogs running through the puddles and having a blast.
Dogs love puddles.
Mhm.
Chris Nielsen, good evening. Roy Bixby's in the Dandenongs. Yeah, cold, chilly, cold.
Yeah.
Dennis is coming in late July. Coming in July. That's now. Now is July. We'll see you soon. I thought you meant like a pre-BFOP thing, like the day before or something, not pre-BFOP like in a few weeks. That's awesome. Robin Aldridge from a wet Avalon Beach. Good evening. Paul Sutton from Perth. And yeah. How does that? I think that Greg's frozen, so that's good. I'll just do the rest of the show by myself. Hey, Greg. You come back whenever you want. You're gone.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened.
You
I just had to
scared me.
swap to hotspotting my phone.
Did you? You froze. You looked just surprised and concerned. Okay. Where to begin? What did you do on the weekend?
Not a huge amount. Everyone in the house got a bit of a weird virusy bug thing with a really yucky cough.
Yeah.
So we're all sort of just working through that. Sash and one of the kids cleaned up their room, which was quite significant. So that took the whole weekend. So yeah, just stuff around the house. And I did a little bit of work because tomorrow we start our BFOP instructor interviews for the Camera Life podcast. So I did a little bit of work on the weekend just to prep for that and make sure all of our ducks are in a very neat row. And they're not. They're all over the shop.
But that's
ducks
how BFOP
everywhere.
is. Ducks everywhere.
Well,
If they,
yeah. Well, there was last year, wasn't there? There were ducks everywhere.
yeah, there was. Well, nice.
Yeah. No, so not much photography. I did a bunch of product shots this morning. I am working on a review that's going to come out on the Lucky Straps website, and I set up a little studio space in the lounge room, and yeah, took some shots. So that's coming. Stay tuned for that. But yeah. Other than that, just shits and giggles, really.
Pretty chill. Pretty chill.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with the cats.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But,
where to start? Where to start tonight? Do we start? You know what was fun? The interview on Thursday with Hashem. That was fun.
Yeah, that was such an interesting conversation. Well, we nearly went for 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, we sort of dragged him out. We hung on to him.
We did, yeah. He had gold. He was just dripping gold everywhere. Yeah, that was a great chat, and really inspirational. Got some great ideas.
Did anything like so? You're like I was very interested in a lot of stuff he had to say about like his process and all that sort of stuff. But you're a street photographer. Did you get any nuggets out of there specifically for street photography?
Yeah, absolutely. But also there was just some nice confirmation about the way that I do things sometimes. You know, when you hear, especially, street photographers are often, lone wolves. We tend to hunt alone. And and yeah, just hearing another street photographer or someone with that level of skill and capability kind of echo what you think and what you do or see. That's really nice. It's reassuring.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was great. He had a lot to offer and a really interesting conversation, and amazing images, like just really clever.
Yeah.
And
for those that aren't familiar, so we mostly chatted, like Hashem's got a huge YouTube channel, mainly focused around film, but has done so a lot of film photography, street photography, but also has reviewed a few cameras, especially sort of more interesting cameras to film photographers like the X Pro 3 from Fujifilm and things like that.
Yeah.
He's currently on the hunt for an alternative to Lightroom to get off the subscription bandwagon. So we had a chat about editing with DxO and other options like that. So yeah, there was tons in the podcast to dig into, lots of different tangents from film photography all the way through to digital editing workflows and YouTube stuff, which is kind of fun too, making videos. So
Yeah.
if you, check the interview out. And if you want to see some of his stuff, just go to Pushing Film on YouTube. 70,000 subscribers. Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. He's doing really well. And it's
Yeah,
great.
and-
It's really reassuring to see that there is still that thirst for film,
Yes.
that
Yep.
it's so strong, And we talked a lot about, why haven't Canon and Fujifilm and Nikon released a film camera?
Yeah.
It's like we had the Pentax. We talked about the Pentax 17. It's the money, but I don't know. Someone's got to buck the trend. Someone's got to take a risk.
Yeah. Yeah. And not a half frame, a full frame.
Yeah, not a hard. Yeah, just go 35 mil for now. Let's just make it happen.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we
talked
didn't
about that.
We didn't talk about his wedding photography really at all. He's a professional
Not
wedding
really.
photographer, has been for a long time.
Yeah.
He's just, there were so many different aspects that 3 hours in and we barely even spoke about his, the entire other half of his business. So that's how interesting he is. Speaking of wedding photographers, we've got on this Thursday,
one of the world's top 5,
the wedding photographer, Jerry Jonas. So I'm looking forward to that one. That's pretty exciting.
You're a bit frothy about that, aren't you? You're a bit excited. Yeah,
I am.
Yeah,
I'm keen to talk to him. It's been a long time.
So that's on. That's this Thursday on the 9th. Of course, we go live every Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, where we interview an amazing guest mostly from Australia, but often abroad. Jerry's in the States. And then the following week, we have a wonderful guest. We have Steve Parrish joining us for a chat.
Yeah. Gosh, the hits just keep coming.
Oh, they
Stop
do.
it, Greg.
Oh, I can't. It's like you set me on these. You set me on these little hunts. Hey, Jerry Jonas, Greg. I'd love to get Jerry Jonas on one day, and then I have to make it happen. I can't let you down. I just look at that face. Who can say no to that?
Exactly.
So,
Bruce says spend all of Jerry's interview asking about his brother Nick, who's also a photographer. See, I don't know any of the. I started after all of that stuff was not a thing, I think. So I actually don't know what the inside scoop is on Nick Jonas. All I know is, because I started wedding photography in basically 2013 and did a workshop with Jerry in 2014. And that was kind of when I was first introduced to that whole world and the whole, I don't know, they were running like big wedding photography businesses, big studios, like tons of weddings, winning a WPPI. And so I sort of have never met Nick or seen it. I don't know if I've even seen much of his work. But it's bizarre world. Very different to now, I think. So that sort
In
of
what
almost
way?
seemed. Well, I don't know if there's new. There's definitely iconic wedding photographers now, but I don't know if there's as many new wedding photographers now that are what that sort of like
iconic level.
How would you describe rock star status?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
It is interesting, but
to find out off Jerry how his whole story evolved and all that sort of stuff, and then dig into he has some of the best nuts and bolts like advice for making better images that can be applied to anything. It's a lot of it's like wedding and portrait and boudoir focused, but it can apply to anything.
And he also has all those pre-packaged workshops that you can buy from his site. Jerry's,
it's like a monthly subscription. Is that what you mean? Like the online tutorials and stuff?
All of those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's for $25 US a month. That's because I used to be a member. It used to be called the Ice Society. It used to be called the Ice Society, and now it's Jerry Jonas Photography Training or something like that. But it was the Ice Society when I started, and it was one of the only places. Basically, you could watch him on a video because he paid a videographer to come, got the approval of the couple and stuff for the wedding, and you would just watch him shoot all day. So I could just sit there at home and watch weddings getting shot by Jerry Jonas. How's he talking to the couple? How's he posing them? and he would add some commentary in later on. Sometimes it would just be the audio from the session. Other times, if he wasn't talking to the couple, he would sort of overlay some thoughts about why he did something or whatever. Yeah. And it was it was amazing. At the time, there was no one. Now there are people on YouTube doing that stuff. They could throw a GoPro on there and stuff, just wander around the wedding, and the couples don't mind. But back then, it would have been, these would have cost money, like quite a bit of money to produce.
Yeah.
So, and a lot.
But they're evergreen products, aren't they?
That's right. That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that.
So we got that coming up.
We should whip through a little bit of news.
Let's talk some news. All right. Yeah. Let me just go to my special sheet. What have we got going on here? I'm so out of whack today. Let's talk lenses.
Yeah.
I'll read out some highlights, and then I might get you to bring up one or two eventually. Here's the lens news for today, folks. So Mieke, M-I-E-K-E. Mieke rhymes with sneaker. Is that how you say it?
Is it the same?
I don't know.
Mikey?
Apparently, they've just dropped a teaser for a 85mm f1.8 for Fujifilm GFX mount, which is going to be released this month.
That will be autofocus?
I believe it is.
So would that be the first, or are there other autofocus third-party lenses for GFX, or would this be the first one?
Just double check. What does it? B&H say? Yeah, it's an autofocus lens.
Yeah, but are there
No,
others?
I don't think it'll be the first. I think there are other brands available.
Oh, okay.
But maybe Crackers, if you're in the chat, let us know. You might know better than me, because I don't deal a lot with the GFX stuff. Anyway, so that's coming in July. At the moment, according to B&H, it's only $340.
Oh, cheap
for a GFX mount lens. So make of that what you will, but that's a pretty cheap way to get a piece of glass for a fancy camera.
Roy Bixby says Mieke are very inexpensive, but haven't been great performers so far.
Yeah.
Well,
And $340 for a medium format lens, you wouldn't.
I was going to say, the issue is you're putting it on like the greatest sensor kicking around that's not a phase 1 or something. So if that's what's going to be tough with third party lenses for GFX is if they suck, you're going to know that they suck really clearly.
Yep. Very, very, first shot. Ooh. Crackers is blaming me again. I can't afford autofocus lenses after Chromie made me buy the GFX lens. I didn't make you buy it. I just pointed out that it would be wise and that it would make you a better person all round to have a GFX lens. You know,
encouraged.
Yeah,
encouraged.
Yeah,
not
I resent that. I resent that tone, Crackers. What else is happening in the lens world? TT Artisans are dropping some new. We talked briefly about these last week, but there's a TT Artisans lens. I think it's coming to Nikon, might be Leica and Fuji X mount. It's a 50mm, one of your favorites, Justin, 1.8 Neo FE lens. This is for the Sony mount, and it's only $89. So again, another really cheap lens. And I mean, TT Artisans, I know a bunch of, I remember Greg Carrick being, one of the first people I knew that was using TT Artisan lens. I think it was on his GFX, on his X series bodies years ago. But picking up a lens for $89 US, which is what, 4,000 Australian right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if it was 150 Australian, like they're cheap lenses. Although that's what the Canon Nifty 50 used to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember.
Now.
Yeah.
It used to always be about $149 or something. For the 1.8.
Yeah, so accessible.
I think they're dearer now, but
yeah. But that's pretty good. It just makes it just gives people an option, a cheap option. Play around with something before you maybe invest in a big meaty first party, prime lens or something.
Or if it's just a lens that you're not that fussed on, you're like, hey, I use zooms for everything, but I'd like to have a 50mm prime just for fun. Just get that one. Yeah. You don't need the world's greatest.
No. The folks over at Sarui, they're they've teased the launch of 3 new prime lenses coming out. Where did I see that? But we don't know the focal ranges.
Yeah.
We don't know anything. They've just dropped a teaser. It's coming on the. It's coming sometime today or tomorrow. These 3 new Surui lenses. So we'll have to wait and see what that is about. And they've also teased a new they're prime lenses. They've also teased a new compact telephoto lens that should have come out in the last couple of days. So we'll have to sit tight and see what happens with that one. What else? 7 Artisans, another third-party lens manufacturer, have announced a new autofocus 135 f1.8 lens for L mount. Gosh. And I think they're doing it for other mounts as well.
Crazy.
So 135.
Yeah, just the amount of navigating the third-party lens world now requires an atlas, a map, a big book. There's just too many. There's too many brands making too many different things that are for different mounts, and what works with this. Someone should just really make a mega lens guide. You know, you throw your camera in there and it just shows you every single. I guess that's probably ChatGPT, but it would be wrong.
Well, now it is.
It's wrong.
Yeah, I used to write guides like that for ShotKit. You know, best first party, best third party lenses for.
I know, but if you had to do a third party lens guide now for
it'd be crazy
for Sony. It'd take a month.
Yeah,
like if you had to go through every option at every focal length. Yeah, Canon wouldn't take long. Canon, you just link the Canon website.
Yeah.
You find everything.
But speaking of Canon, there's a rumor that they're dropping, or they're going to release soon, a Canon RF 105mm f1.4L VCM, again, in that sort of that newer compact form that you've been enjoying. So a 105 1.4, that's portrait photography lens. Is that what you would see that lens as?
I owned the Nikon version of that, a 105 1.4. It was one of my favorite lenses. That, the 28 1.4 and the 58 1.4 were my 3 favorite lenses. And there was a close runner up with the 20mm 1.8 on the Nikon F mount. And Nikon haven't even done a 105 1.4 for their new Z mount yet. Like Jim's still adapting the F mount lens. Yeah. So it's very interesting. That's a big lens. I would be very surprised if they could get a 105 1.4 into the VCM, but Canon have done some pretty crazy stuff with the 14mm and the 20mm in that range. Yep. So it's possible. It would be pretty amazing. Because their 135 is a 1.8, and that's not a huge lens, but it's much bigger than those VCMs. So they're all 67mm filter thread, and it would be interesting to see if they had a departure to that. Richard says the Nikon 105 1.4 was the only lens I've regretted trading in when I moved to mirrorless. Beautiful chunky lens. Yeah, I agree. That's I regret the 28mm 1.4 as well, and as I said, the 58mm 1.4. I regret that whole set. Getting rid of them. I kind of wish I still had them and a D850, but it didn't make sense, and I need to change to mirrorless. But Richard says a long-time listener, but you're actually at home at the time of recording, so that's cool. Thanks for joining us. Yeah,
great to see you. Yes. So that's kind of it for lens news.
Cool.
But jumping to camera news, as our friend Dennis pointed out earlier, Sony is expected to release a brand new FX camera, the FX5. A few bits and pieces that have been floating around, rumors and that sort of stuff. It's looking at having a 16 megapixel fully stacked sensor. It can record OpenGate 5K 3.2, triple base ISO. I don't understand what that means. What does triple base ISO?
Well, I didn't know. I thought it was always called dual gain ISO or whatever. Basically, it means you would have like clean, I think the Canon R5 Mark II, although they don't advertise it, has essentially like a native ISO at 800 and at 4000, and they're almost the same in terms of, so you'll be at 800 and you'll go up and it'll get noisier until you get to the next native ISO and it'll go clean again.
Right.
When you're shooting log. I don't know if it's as pronounced when you're shooting like a baked in color profile. Dennis could probably tell me that because he's saying, yeah, exciting triple base ISO. He says, I shoot cleanish ISO at 12,800 and 640. It's witchcraft. Yeah, that's a massive
bananas.
gap. Whereas, a lot of the other ones seem to be at around that, somewhere between 3,200 and 6,400, somewhere in there. And
so this will have 3 of those sweet spots.
Yeah, which I assume that's not very common at all in this world of like not a really expensive camera in terms of, this FX5. I don't know what this will cost, but I'm guessing it'll be sub 10,000. Yeah. So Bruce is saying native ISO basically switches a circuit in the chip rather than just increasing the gain, basically cranking up the signal. So, very, very handy for videographers that can set their ISO, use an ND filter to control how much light's coming in, use the aperture to set depth of field, shutter angle, and then if once they get out of the range of their, if they need to increase, they'll have to flip it up to the next native ISO and then still use their ND filter to bring it back down. Still results in a cleaner image than using one of those in between.
Yeah.
That's what I'm led to believe. Maybe I'm explaining it wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, pro video guys.
Yeah.
But that's how I understand it.
Speaking of pro video, so the Sony FX5, it is anticipated to also have a new larger LCD screen, a 3.5 inch. The Nikon ZR, which was Nikon's first cine camera after acquiring Red. That has a 4-inch screen. It's got quite a large monitor on the back of it. So Sony have boosted
everywhere. I want to see big screens everywhere.
Yeah,
I think
it just
crank them up.
Yeah, why not? It just seems silly not to. If you can fit it on, fit it on. Other Sony news, they've officially now, we rumored it last week, but they've officially now teased the upcoming release of the bridge camera, which is the Sony RX10V. And they've been doing these bridge cameras forever, haven't they?
Yeah.
These are these big bulbous lens and camera body all in one. They often have a zoom that goes from 20 mil to 1,000. Like they're just these crazy kind of do it all cameras, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm just trying to see what so the RX, when was the 4 released? Trying to see how old it is, the previous model. Wow. Released
9
in
years.
2017. 9 years. That's insane. How interesting that they're bringing out another one, because you would assume that would potentially be a dead line. No upgrade for 9 years.
Maybe they're seeing a change in trends, like the push to compacts. This has a 24 to 600 mil lens.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all. But I know Nikon have done these before. I think they've still got some, haven't they? Nikon, haven't they still got some that are going?
Yeah, the P, is that the P like 1100?
The P1.
Yeah, that's even bigger lens than that, I think, and it's super popular.
I think it's up to 1,000 mil. But anyway, a couple of Sony drops there coming soon, and there was the final news article about cameras was that question was, is Nikon resurrecting the cancelled DL compact camera range? These originally came out, I can't remember when they came out, but it was a while ago. And they had these 2 camera models that were coming, and then they cancelled it because, for whatever reason. Originally, they announced years ago that there was going to be the DL1 with an 8 to 50 mil lens and the other DL camera with a 24 to 85. These new cameras, there's not a lot to substantiate that these are coming, but there's been enough rumors around it to suggest that they are resurrecting some older style of cameras, which is what we're seeing with Sony with this RX10. Maybe they're finding people are moving away from the bigger, complicated, enthusiast to pro level bodies, and they're looking for.
I think maybe newer photographers are looking for simpler options to grab a camera and travel with or something, and they're like, I don't want lenses and stuff. I just give me one that works, you know.
Yep.
And and they let these product lines just sit for a little bit too long because they thought they weren't selling, and all of a sudden there might be some renewed interest. I think a lot of people are looking for cameras to take to family events and travel with and stuff, and but not everyone wants to carry multiple lenses or have to make the buying decision to buy a camera with, well, which lenses do I get? They just want just give me the thing.
Just want it clean and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll let you know if we come up with any other news. But it would be interesting to see any of the brands, Nikon or Canon or Sony, because Sony are overdue for RX100. I think the Mark 8 would be the next one, because the 7's been out for ages. There's that demand again for those premium compacts, you know, that have got a zoom. They've got a few bells and whistles.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Let's have a look at, let's get into some images. But first, before I do that, a couple of comments, and then we'll talk about the Godox camera after we have a look at some images and in and around the images. You know, we'll get it swirling. I want to hear everyone's thoughts on this wild thing. But before that, there was a couple of comments I just wanted to highlight. First of all, Stefan Janov7, greetings from the UK. Good to see you.
G'day, Cobber. That was.
How's it going?
G'day, mate.
Nev Clark, good evening. And who else has joined? Dennis Smith says he'd love a 105. Yeah, Dennis too. A 105, not a macro. You've got to try one of these 105s with like a wild low aperture, like a wide open aperture, 1.4, 1.8, something like that. It was so fun to shoot. 135 was too tight for me. 105 for like full length shots were just so cool. Yeah. Who else? East Coast Photography says, talking lenses, I just received my Sigma 17-40 f1.8 for Fuji. Wow.
Nice.
What a nice lens. Quality 100%. Have you used one of those, Greg?
No, I haven't, but I'm borrowing off the team at Tamron Australia. I'm going to borrow the Tamron 17 to whatever it is, 70?
70? That, the 2.8?
17 to 70? Yeah, the one that they've also done for Canon, and well, I've done it for everyone.
Yeah.
Tamron.
Fuji's not special.
Nah.
Bruce Moyle says, oh, sorry, you were still continuing.
No, I'm just rambling.
Oh, okay. Bruce Moore says parents that want a camera that does everything and put the phone away. Yeah, I think you're right. That's what people are looking for, and just not necessarily ending up spending $2,000 by the time they buy lenses and stuff. They just want what's good and it works.
Well, one of our kids here, Juno, she's doing year 12, and she wanted a point and shoot, just a cheap, a couple $100 point and shoot, I think for a birthday last year, to take on school camps and to hang out with friends. And she much prefers using that over using a phone for, day-to-day photography. It's really interesting. And, she's 17, almost 18.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of that.
More of that. I think phones are going to be boring to kids by the time they've got money to spend stuff on their own hobbies. Phones are not something they're going to want to. Yeah. It's not new and different. It's just the thing that they've lived their entire life around. Yep. Very true. That's. We'll see. We'll see if that's true or not. I might be completely wrong. Paul Sutton says that the other manufacturers looked at the Ricoh GR range and said, I want some of that. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Small compact cameras. Dennis liked the Sony one. Richard says, tax return time here in Australia, depending on my tax return, I have a list of what I'm getting from a second Z9 all the way down to a Nikon sticker.
It's good. Sliding scale is
I was going to say, that's better than it sliding all the way to having to sell your other Z9 to pay for your tax bill. Hopefully it doesn't go that direction.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. John Latimer started with a Lumix all-in-one. It was a 24 to 600 2.8, but helped me work out what I wanted to take photos before I invested in a decent camera. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. When you've got every focal length, it makes it a lot easier to then look through your images and be like, oh, I never shot over 200 mil anyway, or whatever. Or do you need that long end? Okay. Let's do some images.
Yeah.
Before the night is over.
All right. Should we start with John Latimer? Speak of the devil?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect timing.
All right. I'll start reading. You get your image ready.
I'll figure out how to find the image. There we go.
All right. Good. Great. Don't leave me hanging.
I'm not. All right. I forgot John last week. This image was in for last week, and I missed it in my inbox.
You were terrible.
I'm really happy that he emailed to let me know. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here's what John has to say. Hey guys, first of all, I want to say I watched Greg on the Tamron pod. I enjoyed it. I wanted to thank Greg for being open about mental health and how photography helped him. It was comforting to listen to someone being open about it. Thank you. Oh, thanks, John. That means the world. This week, I've been swamped with work and traveling interstate for all these conventions and haven't felt like I had a chance to catch a break. I managed to squeeze in a bit of time to go down to a local river and do nothing for an hour, but just to clear my head. This is a yellow-faced honeyeater amongst the trees chasing insects along Plenty Gorge in South Morang. Shot with a Sony A7R III and a 200 to 600 at 600 mil. F6.3, shutter 1/4000th. There were some very fast birds around here. ISO at 12,800. Thanks to the pod and to the community. Have a great week. Thanks, John. Let's have a look at your image.
ISO 12,800. It looks great.
But the composition
is it's banger. The berries in the background. It's
and they're contrasted because they're surrounded by the green leaves, so they kind of pop a little bit, but they don't overtake the image. Your eye gets drawn back once you've sort of settled on the bird.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful shot. I think like if it was just the blown out background with no bear, like just sort of plain, it would still be a nice photo. But I think the berries add a lot of story to it and some compositional elements and a little subtle pop of color.
And there's some great comments in the chat already. What have we got? Greg Carrick, nicely placed, great comp. Dennis, damn, the subtle tones in the berries are amazing. Great focus and use of lighting, absolutely. Great composition, lovely depth of field, John. Love it all. The color, the background, beautiful. And finally from, is it Shamit Shah? Yeah. Shamit Shah. Nice clean shot. And look at that detail.
It is nice. I'm very impressed with that high ISO. Look at it.
Yeah.
Great. Cameras are just so good these days.
Aren't they clever?
Aren't they clever? And the photographer, obviously amazing. I was just commenting on the lack of noise, not on the not like the camera did the job for you. Don't get me wrong. Don't want to get in trouble.
No, we don't. No, we want to keep the community, not lose it.
Yes.
Great image, John. Cracker of a shot.
And who else do we have back this week?
David Mascaro.
The other David.
The other David.
From San Francisco. We've missed him.
Yep. He's dropped some images in his true style. Hi guys, sorry it's been a minute, but I've been watching the show, just not live. Hope all is well with you guys and your viewers. Anyways, this little mini series was taken in Portland, Oregon, hanging with my daughters. As we were leaving a coffee shop, I see this guy from the street and I made my daughter go around the block and park so I can go speak with him. This is David. Long story short, he was married, doing well, working for his father-in-law. Then the father-in-law died and his company sold and he was out of a job. Really nice man, more than willing to share stories. It's amazing what can happen by just saying hi. Photos taken with an F6 and Ultra Max 400 film. Take care, guys, and have a great show. Thank you so much, David. Let's have a look at your images, mate. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great little 3-image set.
Oh, but the body language in this one, the way that one hand's open, the other one's curled. Beautiful.
Gosh, loving it. He's good with color as well as black and white. Stop it, David.
What a smart ass.
Yeah, this is a really nice set.
Yeah. Oh, that's
to tell the
gorgeous.
story. Yeah, I think. Yeah, you spot like they're two similar. Like taken from a similar angle. Obviously, this one's closer up. But there's such a difference in body language.
Yeah. It just changes the narrative completely, doesn't it? Between the shots. Gorgeous.
I love it. Awesome.
Yeah. And so does the chat. Lots and lots of amazing comments. Great connection. Parabellum wanted to know if that's Uncle Jesse. Who was Uncle Jesse? Dukes of Hazzard. Did you have Dukes of Hazzard, or were you too young?
Too young.
Have you ever watched Dukes of Hazzard?
No, there was a movie. There was a girl in
that.
tight denim shorts.
No, not
not
the porn.
Not the TV show.
Not the porn. The original show. Shout out in the chat if you watch the original Dukes of Hazzards. It was one of the highlights of my childhood, watching criminals hoon around paddocks in this bright orange car. It was just gorgeous. What else we got? Tweak Productions, The Story, The Way Life Can Turn. Dennis, so good. An actual portrait.
Yeah, an actual portrait.
Film in Roxby says, film is for masochists. Amazing. Great series. What a great character. Yeah. Really cool comments here. So well done. And great to have you back. So you haven't lost your skill.
Great to have you back.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We had no doubt.
Should we jump into one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Let's do Philip Johnson's. Oh my.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think this might be my favorite shot that you've ever sent in, Philip.
I think it might be mine too. Oh gosh, it's like a painting from a different era, isn't it? It's just
Yeah, it's a beautiful photo.
Incredible. Yeah. Here's what Philip had to say, folks. G'day, Justin and Greg. Attached, find my image I captured in Katoomba in the Blue Mountains. I've shot many times. It has a certain character, I'll say. And on this occasion, it was an early morning light on a damp, misty Blue Mountains morning. To me, the image processed well. I love when you zoom in and the clarity. When you get good light and character and mist, it equals magic. Indeed, I think this is one of the best shots I've seen of yours. It is absolutely magical.
I just made it full screen on my 32-inch monitor. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I bet.
The detail on the tree, but then it falls off into like an oil painting background.
Yeah, and just the mix of the green hues, like it's just stunning. This was shot with a A7 IV from folks at Sony, with a Sony 70-200 2.8 Mark II. Nice lens. Processed using a combination of software. Adobe Photoshop 26, Nick Vivisa, Topaz Photo. I think you can use at least one or two more editing software there. I don't think 3's enough. I think you should push it.
I mean, whatever you did, it worked.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous image, mate. Well done. Congratulations. You should enter that in a competition, if not print it. Or both.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be printed out. I've been printing. A little bit.
Have you?
Yeah, I'll tell you in a second. I'll read some comments.
All right.
This first.
Sure.
Yeah, everyone like Tweak says it looks like a painting. So does Parabellum. Same as Dennis. David Leporati just says, "Wow, amazing, nicely isolated." Bruce says it is. The tree is very well isolated. I love that it's just sitting through that gap, and the branch is sort of curling over the tree in the background.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. Moody image there, Phil. Nice.
Very.
East Coast photography. Phil Thompson says otherworldly with that light and color.
Yeah.
Felicity Johnson says, "Oh wow, I'm busy studying the different forms of trees in the background as well as the main tree." Yeah, and that's the thing is when it's big, like you guys are only seeing it on YouTube, but when it's big too, you sort of go from tree to tree because they're at different layers of fog. So there's different levels of how much detail there is, but you sort of get drawn backwards through the photo. It's really nice.
Yeah.
David Leparati says, "Cool tones." Twig Production says 50 Shades of Green. Yeah. Richard likes landscapes with long lenses too. Yeah. I wouldn't have guessed 7200. I would have guessed 24 to 70. So, yeah, really well done.
Yeah. It's not overly compressed at all.
Yeah.
It's magic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well done. All right.
Okay.
Should we move on with a little bit more news?
We should.
Yeah, all right.
Should.
A quick little, quite literally, a quick little news article. Fujifilm, some of you might have seen it on social media. Fujifilm have just released 2 new quick snap disposable film cameras. The first one is a black and white film camera. It also includes a flash. And the second one is an updated version of their quick snap active camera. So it can go in the water. It's a bit tougher. It's got a more durable plastic shell. So if you want to get a quick fix of film, maybe have a play around with it before you invest in a secondhand film camera or a Leica. Give this a shot. I'm actually tempted by the black and white option, grabbing a couple of those and just having them in the camera bag, and every now and then just, not rush to fill a roll, just have it.
Just work through it. Just let it.
Just work through it.
Take 1 or 2 here and there.
27 exposures in each. Both have a flash. Oh no, actually maybe the active one doesn't. Anyway, the black and white one does. Quick, simple, relatively inexpensive way to get into film.
Nice.
Indeed. All right. Should we talk about the elephant in the room?
Yeah.
That Godox made a camera?
Yeah. A weird camera.
Yeah,
but I mean,
slightly.
Slightly. It's got no screen. Hang on. Let's.
Well, I know it does have a screen.
It has a viewfinder. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you would call this thing.
I don't know what you call it.
Let's bring up this.
So Godox have indeed, this is not an April Fool's joke, they have indeed released the Godox C100. It's a transparent viewfinder camera with a large, intelligent, transparent display that performs multi-aspect ratio shooting for both stills and video.
And video. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, a little bit of video. Doesn't say what sort of video. At this point in time, expected to cost around 42 Australian dollars, which doesn't make any sense to me.
No, that's what everyone's been saying. It's going to be super cheap. Maybe it'll end up being $50 or $60 here. It's like a step up from the Kodak Charmerer in terms of image quality, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's. Well, I don't know.
Let me read on.
Dennis, every time. Sick. Light painting beast.
Yep. Well, why not?
I'd like to see that.
I would like to see that, and no doubt we will at some point. According to this, it only weighs 65 grams. It measures 104 by 72 by 19 mils. And half of the actual body is that screen. Now that screen, it does cut some of the light out. Apparently I saw somewhere that you can lose up to 50% of light transmission through that screen. A little bit.
These weird little GIFs that they look like they're stop motion, like fast motion. But you can kind of see that it's shading, like cutting the light as you look through it a little bit.
But it's not just a dud screen. It actually has digital overlay on it. Camera settings and information will appear on that screen, which I think is pretty cool, pretty remarkable, especially for such a cheap device.
I've seen it, like people have talked about it, that you could actually use it as a light meter. And that's what this GIF is actually advertising. And I didn't realize Godox. I thought people on the internet had just said, "Oh, you could use it as a light meter because it's displaying your settings."
But that's one of its functions.
They're using like this is a film photographer in a GIF with these same girls that move really fast. But they've also got the cameras too, which is wild. But he's using the camera attached to his Godox photographer's vest to, I guess, meter for his Bronica film camera. And if it works for that and it's priced at sort of trinkety gadget pricing of 50 or 60 Australian dollars, I mean, they'll probably sell quite a few of them. Yeah. This article, and so what are we looking at? We're on digitalcameraworld.com if you want to read this full
it's also
article.
on Petapixel.
It's on Petapixel too. And I think both of them have pointed out that at CP Plus, either the most recent one or the year before, potentially even, they saw this, what's that say? Escura?
The Escura. ESCURA. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, but this viewfinder didn't change. It was just a fixed printed overlay. Like it says FPS 30, 1.3 million pixels. Like you don't need that information. That's just there to make it look cool. You know, it doesn't serve any purpose because it doesn't change. Whereas the Godox one, having settings that actually change the light reading is pretty cool.
It charges with a USB-C and can connect to a computer or smartphone via that USB-C so that you can download, upload info and images. It supports 128 gig micro SD card. So that's a decent amount of data.
Considering the size photos that it takes, how many megapixels did you say?
100. What did I say it was? It was not much.
Yeah, it's not much. It's the image quality is going to be like
the Chimera.
They've wanged the cheapest phone camera that they could find into it, I would say.
Yeah. But yeah, look, it's cheap. It's fun. It gets people looking at photography. It gets people out looking at the world in a different way. The built-in battery will last for about 1.5 hours of continuous video recording. My Fujifilm doesn't even do that.
Yeah, but anyway, it's got no screen. Okay, it's amazing.
Watch yourself.
Like, the only thing I'm worried about is
Greg Carrick wants to know if it comes in black.
Does it come in black? I actually liked it. It kind of really looks like an iPod. If they had put a click wheel around the button, they would have got sued, but that would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome.
Does it have open gate? Well, if it doesn't, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, no. How dare they?
How dare they?
But it's cool. So like if it's the price they say it is, if it's $50, you go to JB and you pick one up, you hang it on your keychain.
The only thing I'm worried about is that, not that I'm worried about.
Well, you don't worry about anything. What do you mean?
People can buy whatever they want. But
I've never seen you worry about anything in your life.
I don't want us as a photographic community to get tricked into buying too many $50 to $80 trinket cameras that we don't end up using. And that's me projecting my own insecurities because I haven't used the Charmer for anything meaningful. But it's now sitting on my shelf as a little hunk of plastic.
How many have you got now?
Just one. I've no intention of buying any others. You can have mine if you want, because that would actually make me feel better about buying it.
I think we've got 6.
Do you have this color?
And the new one, the new retro ones, the new fancy ones haven't cut. No, I don't have that one. Sash might. I've got them all up there on display. Can't see it. It's dark.
Well, if you don't
have you seen the new ones? I don't have that one. No.
Congratulations, you do now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I've got a shitty old X100 here, Fuji X100. You can have that.
I'll borrow this one day when we actually do the Charmer street photography challenge or something. But yeah, it hasn't happened yet. So
no.
Anyway.
No. Yes, it's one of my many disappointments. But the new ones look cool. They've got sort of metallic finishes and they're a bit more kind of 90s
fancy.
retro.
Yeah, and the thing is, if it brings you joy, like if it brings you joy to have it on your shelf, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But as long as it's just not, we don't end up just sort of buying random stuff that just comes out because we're like, oh, Godox brought this thing out, but it's cheap, so I'll grab it, and then you don't use it. And
you are the king of random stuff.
Yeah, but it's got to be expensive.
Yeah, I guess
that's the difference.
Yeah,
it's got to. I just find it really interesting that Godox obviously has an insane level of tech development.
Yeah.
And this, I never thought that they would make a camera, and they still haven't really. This isn't a camera. It is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
But it made me think, what would happen if they did decide to make a camera?
Yeah, I've often wondered that about these sorts of brands that, you know, would it kind of go the way of some of those earlier Sigma concept cameras?
Yeah.
You know, the BF is a more recent example, but, you know, people go, oh, that's cool, that's brave, but
I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I'm not that brave.
You know, but at this price point, like it's clever because at this price point and with how it looks like fun. It looks cool, right? They're going to sell a shitload of them.
Yeah.
They don't need to sell $1,000, $4,000 cameras. They're going to sell 1 million of these.
Yeah.
Instead, you know, and I just say good luck to them.
Well,
because this sort of stuff wakes up the rest of the camera industry and goes, oh shit, we didn't think of that.
That's right. What is interesting is that the focal length of the viewfinder is variable based on limb length. And I have extremely long arms. Quite long. So the question is, you know, if I hold it versus like a 12-year-old kid, we're going to see different photos, but then the camera is going to take a particular photo. I'd like to know what the calibration on limb length was for the way that they, you know, chose the camera focal length in relation to the viewfinder size. That's what I'd like to know. I'd like a technical document, maybe an internal Godox technical document about limb length.
Yep.
I'll
get on to that.
What did everyone else think of this? Let's see. Okay. We're going to go back up a little bit. David Leparati says it's a Game Boy.
It does look like
Mimo Base says it's so cute. Mimo, are you new? Have you been in the chat before? There's some new faces and names tonight. I'm loving it. Loving it. Greg Carrick says, does it have a faux film winder? No, it's not a Fujifilm. A bigger viewfinder than the Charmer, that's for sure. The Charmer is quite impractical to look through. You have to scrunch your face up like this.
Yeah.
To be able to see through it.
Yeah. But it's quite wide, the lens. Don't bother. Just hold it. Shoot.
Just point and shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nev Clark says, I don't know about it, but no one thought the Instamax would be very successful, and it's one of the best-selling cameras on the planet. People sometimes quirky, funky things sell. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The Instax range, yeah.
Instax, yeah.
Yeah.
Rory says, I'd rather have the Bronica. Parabellum wants to know, how do I attach my 200 to 800 to the Godox C100? And Roy said, use a hammer. Okay, who else? Yeah. Godox is probably still better than a smartphone. I doubt it. This will be like iPhone 3S level of camera at best, I would say. But I'll be interested to see. Battery grip, does it come with a quarter 20 thread on the bottom for a tripod? Yeah, we'll see. Lucinda, what's up? David Liberati says it's got 4 aspect ratios: square, 4:3, 3:2, and 16:9.
Fun.
Limb length can be calculated with a tape measure. I don't understand, Greg.
Yep.
No, I know my limb length. The focal length of because you hold it out like this, you know.
Do you?
Yeah. Where do you think you hold it?
What about if you just sort of been casual? You just want to just flick it, and then it's only here. Yeah, or maybe they used the old ancient Egyptian pharaoh. What was that called? A cubit? Wasn't that the length from the tip of the pharaoh's finger to the End of his elbow. Does anyone else remember that? If I got that wrong, I'm sure that was a cubit.
A couple more comments. John Latimer says, my work partner and I both have the same Kodak cameras. So after each event we swap our cameras and do photos of our week and swap back at the next event. Terrible photos, but it's fun. That's actually a really fun way to use cameras that are that small. That's a great idea. That's the right way to use a camera. Be cool to be able to do that with like Q3 monochromes, but no one's got that kind of cash. Be like, here, Greg, we just swap each week. You can have a look through what the photos I've been taking. What else? Shamit says sales will probably be more than the Fuji XR.
Yeah. I don't think that'll be hard.
Oh, it's
a cubit. Thank you, Roy and
apparently
Greg.
that's how Noah's Ark was measured in cubits.
Cubits.
Anyway, all right. Final piece of C100 stuff. There was a very interesting. So this article on Digital Camera World was actually very useful because it had some links to some other cameras that had done this kind of thing in the past. And let's have a look at them. Let me show you. Canon made this ugly son of a bang. Look at that. Canon made that. They really did.
That's scary.
This was called... So the article says this Canon is the worst camera I've ever bought by James Arteas, I think. So this was published on the 4th of February 2021. Good job, James. It's like, I'm not even going to try. It looks so basically, from what I can understand, it's got a also probably very average phone camera type thing on it. It's a shutter button up the top. This is the viewfinder, but it's also a carabiner to hook onto your jeans, which is cool.
I like that.
And it says, herein lies the first problem. It's impossible to frame your shots. I shoot with instant cameras quite a lot, so I have instincts for composing, but those instincts won't help you here. Yeah. Apparently it sucks. It had this little mode dial on the back. It did video and stuff. Anyway, so it was an actual Canon. You can see here the Canon logo. I can't believe they put their name on this.
Where's the Canon logo?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then, so as much as that brought quite a lot of shame on Canon, and I was like, oh gosh, that's rough. Don't think I'll bring that up tonight. But then it was made okay because there was another article about another terrible camera with the same concept made by Fujifilm.
Oh, I don't recall this.
Well, Instax, the Instax PAL. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I saw them when they came out. And I contemplated getting one, but
did you?
Yeah, I did.
What is the thing on the top? What is that? How come we didn't review this on the show? Were you too scared to bring it up?
No, I'm not scared of anything. It's just a weird little camera that pairs with an Instax printer, or you can send the images to your phone, I believe, or both. But yeah, it was trying to sort of grab that. Probably that teen, young adult market, have something fun and easy hanging off your keychain.
Something fun and easy.
Fun and easy.
It's just fun and easy. Yeah, anyway, so that it was a 4.5 megapixel. Yeah. Had USB-C, 350 shots, 41 grams, But so anyway, the Godox C100 is different, but it is kind of the same. And
I think I'll get one when it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, we better review it.
Oh yeah.
We can do a head-to-head with the Charmerer.
Yeah.
You could do you want to do a roundup with that? You can try and get your hands on an Instax PAL as well and just do a full roundup of just odd cameras that
I think they still sell them at JB Hi-Fi.
Really?
I think so. It wasn't that long ago I saw them in a shop.
Hashem in the chat Good to see you. Pushing film.
Hey,
Hey, boys. Interesting move from Godox on this one, in my opinion. At least it's priced quite cheaply. Yeah. So would it be of any use to you, Hashem, for metering at all? I know your camera doesn't have a meter. I'm sure you have an actual meter somewhere if you need it. But is this of any use to film photographers, do you think? Or is that a bit of a gimmick that they're trying to pitch? I'd love to know if you're still listening. What else? Yeah.
yeah, they still sell Instax Pel.
I would duck and hide if I was boasting being a Canon shooter. Yeah, mate. Anyway. Okay. Some more images?
Yeah, let's look at some more images. Yeah. Let me go back to my list.
Yeah, let me go back to my list. Oh, yeah, this is another good one. Let me bring it up. We're up to Paul Carpenter, I think. Are we?
Our friends at Camera House have that Fujifilm Instax Pel in pistachio green. Okay. For $150.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like $50.
No,
150?
Yeah.
No one's going to buy that.
Which is probably why it didn't sell very well.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I think it's cool. I think it's clever. Like, again, it's brave, you know. But what's with Fujifilm getting cameras pricing so wrong?
Well, yeah. It would want to have it, even if it had decent image quality, you don't know what you're taking. And 150, they wouldn't have sold many of those.
Nah.
Anyway. Paul Carpenter. Check this out. Oh, no, just before we do. Pushing film. The main interesting thing for metering is having a way to aim if the frame lines match your composition. I think that could be fun, like using a director's viewfinder. Yeah, that could be an interesting use for it, and if it meters. And the other thing that a few people have mentioned is it doesn't look like a camera. So when you point it at stuff, people aren't going to react the same way you point a camera at stuff. But also people probably just think it's a phone or something. And another bonus Hashem says is could be grabbing basic digital reference shot for your film photo. So if you were if you were just shooting film, could be handy if you want to leave your phone at home and go out shooting film, but you just want to have this as like a reference tool, a metering tool that it doesn't have any apps on. It's not going to buzz at you. It's not going to interrupt you while you're out shooting. It looks like an iPod, so you kind of wish you could plug your headphones into it, but you can't. That makes sense. Okay, I'm convinced it's great.
All right, we'll order 10. Paul Carpenter. G'day, Justin and Greg. Here's an image for Monday evening. Oh, love it. It reminds me when I was a teenager, I used to make model airplanes. I was terrible at them. I'd get glue everywhere and the paint wouldn't work. But gosh, it was fun.
Should get back into it.
Anyway, got enough to do. The historical Warbird aircraft scene over in the UK is massive. And I was lucky to get to a number of air shows while I was over there last month. The only shot I really wanted to get over there was a Spitfire with a decent amount of propeller blur and a long focal length. Well, I think you nailed that. Very happy with this one, particularly as I had a poster of this very aircraft up on my wall as a teenager back in the 80s. The plane is 83 years old and shot down about 10 aircraft during the Second World War. And this was shot with a Canon R5 with a RF 100 to 500 at 500 mil, f10, 1/125th of a second, and ISO 100.
Nice. Paul says, started to get some sharp images through sheer number of attempts. Well, you're nailing it. Look at it. She's a beaut. Beautiful clear sky and perfect propeller blur. I love that.
And it's
did the issue you were having with the 100 to 500 and the motion blur, did it turn out to be a filter or anything like that, or there was a particular focal length, a particular shutter speed that was causing you grief? Are you getting a higher keeper rate now? I'd like to know. What does this say? Parabellum and Collectibles says Submarine Spitfire Mark 8. Very accurate.
Yeah, specific.
Yeah, David Leparati's a fan.
Yeah, no surprises there.
Must be a later Spitfire cannons instead of machine guns. Gosh, you guys know your planes.
Yeah.
Yep. Phil Thompson's a fan. Everyone's a fan. Look at it. Oh, the aircraft has been in a number of films, including the Battle of Britain. Wow. And Dennis says planes are hard. Like kids, they never stop moving.
Yep.
What's a Mark? Is that 9?
Yep.
No. Yes. Forget my Roman numerals. You rarely see 9.
Yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah. Bruce is skeptical. It just feels like it's a model.
Oh, Bruce.
Like looking for the fishing line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks that good.
Yeah, that's a really cool shot.
Yeah. Epic.
Nice.
Speaking of epic, what do we got next?
David Leparati.
Yeah.
Hi, Justin, Greg, and everyone. Please find attached infrared images as promised last week. Thank you so much. These 3 images are of an afternoon storm over Evans Head, northern New South Wales. Wow. It looks alien, doesn't it?
Yeah, creepy. Like another planet.
Image 1, which I think is what we're looking at. This is the raw file out of camera using a custom white balance in camera. Then we jump to image 1A, raw file out of camera using a daylight white balance. Then image 2, edited image with color swap, ACR using LUTs. Whoa. That's crazy. Look what it does to the clouds.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then image 3, which is actually image 4, black and white version, ACR with LUTs, Photoshop, silver effects.
And that's why
incredible.
I want to convert my camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And it's all one frame. Like it's not a composite. It's just bananas.
Exactly.
Speaking of the camera, this was shot with a Canon EOS 400D, converted 600 nanometers, plus the EFS 17-85 IS USM lens. It seems we have a caller.
Hello?
We do. David, can you hear us? Oh, hang on.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect.
I can hear you, Justin.
Excellent. Well, the phone's working. It just worked. That's amazing. I didn't even have to reconnect it. What's going on?
Well, I just thought I'd quickly call in. The second image, the very red image, that's actually when you shoot a infrared image or infrared converted camera, you will get a red image like that. And when you open it in Camera Raw or Lightroom, the color temperature slider will be right across the left-hand side, so you can't adjust it. So you need to use a custom white balance in camera, and you will also need to create a camera profile using a Adobe profile editor, I think it is. I can't remember the exact software, which embeds and enables you then to actually move the color temperature to adjust the image accordingly.
Right. So what custom white balance do you choose in camera when you're shooting a shot like that?
Well, basically it's fixed. So when you get the camera converted, so that particular camera was the Canon 400D, which I've had for many, many years. When I purchased it, it actually came with a custom white balance embedded. And so I just leave it on that. I don't change it.
Okay. Whereas if I get
on an overcast, if you do a complete
full spectrum,
full spectrum, I'm not sure how that works because I don't have full spectrum, but I believe you'd have to do a custom white balance for the infrared filters. I think when you had the chap from Imaging by Design on, he was saying depending on the filter, when you're at, in the 720 and higher, it's basically near pure black and white. There won't be much color in it, so you'll just get a red image and you can convert accordingly. But when you have 600 and, well, the Canon is a 680 nanometer and my Fuji is a 590 nanometer, you get massive color shifts. So you need to do custom white balance off green grass on a bright sunny day. So there's other things, but yeah, when you basically get your camera converted to an infrared conversion filter, it will be custom white balanced for you.
Right. Okay. They'll do that as part of the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. So with the cameras, I have, like the Fuji, I have my in camera is set to black and white. So when I actually view the images, they're in black and white, but obviously I'm shooting RAW and JPEG. So I open the RAW files, add the custom profile, and then it allows me to use the LUTs that I have to actually do the color swaps and the white balance in camera. So when I open the image you've got on the screen of the actual storm and so on, I do a white balance off the storm clouds or something that's close to being white after I actually load it into Lightroom or into Camera Raw. And then that allows me to use the LUTs to actually do the color swapping.
Right. And
I used to do that in Photoshop as a channel adjustment layer, but now I have LUTs, which I managed to get from Rob Shear in the US. And
right.
so I don't even go into Photoshop, rarely go into Photoshop nowadays with those.
Okay. And
That's
and
amazing.
LUTs are the only ways to really to do that in terms other than Photoshop. Like there's no sort of standard manipulations you can do in say Lightroom to finish a color infrared image to do the channel swaps.
Yeah, it depends on the filter, obviously, as we said before. So the lower the nanometers, as in 590 nanometers, you're going to have from orange, red to infrared. The 680 is red to infrared. So depending on the filter, you may be able to go in and do some slider adjustments, but to do the full channel swapping, which is what the LUT does in Camera Raw or in Lightroom, you can only do that in Photoshop if you don't have a LUT specifically to do that.
Right.
It's very difficult to try and do it any otherwise. I haven't been able to replicate it personally, but there's obviously some way of doing it, but
yeah,
I haven't been able to.
Yeah, right. I'm so excited. When I was away for the weekend, I was like, okay, so I drove back just in the middle of the day on Sunday, and I was like, oh, it'd be, just from Mildura to Bendigo. I was like, it'd be so nice to have an infrared camera right now.
Well, that's the great thing about the infrared. You can shoot any time of day, from basically sun up through the day, right through the middle of the day to sundown. So you can certainly shoot all day. You don't have to wait for the golden light in the morning or the afternoon, like most landscape photographers want to do. So, and the middle of the day, bright sunny days is certainly much better. As you can see by the RAW file, it's fairly flat looking because it's an overcast condition. So when it's overcast, it will always be a flatter image when you look at it, and you've got to add a lot of contrast to it and so on. So, but I've never had an issue with the actual image captures. Doesn't matter what I shoot, you'll never get highlights blown out or shadows blown out. You'll always have a fairly nice histogram, and it allows you to then use a bit more. So infrared actually gives you a little bit more to play with.
Does it really? Interesting.
Yeah, well, that's what I've found so far anyway.
That's exciting too. So you're not constantly sort of trying to fight against nature and cram this really high dynamic range scene into a sensor that can't quite handle it.
Yep.
Very cool.
No, I've had no issues with that at all. So it's great. Lots of fun.
Oh, I can't wait. I got to get it done. But I'm going to go down to. I'm going down to Imaging by Design to watch them, and I haven't organised that yet. That's what on my list. I got to figure out when they'll book it in, where I can go down there for the day and watch them just take it apart and cry while I see the sensor out.
Yeah.
Well, he's-
I don't know if it became enough to sit there and watch it being pulled apart. No, but certainly it's worth it once you get it done. But and the advantage of like the Fuji with the 590 nanometer, I can put a 680 nanometer infrared filter on the lens. I can put a 720 nanometer. So what I'm doing then is, because the camera is already seeing infrared, I can put on the other filters and it's still handheld. I don't have to worry about sticking. It's still basic, straightforward handheld photography.
Right.
So
Whereas normally, if you put that filter on a non-converted camera, it cuts out.
You're looking through a black screen, and you can almost not see through it. So, and you're then looking at slow shutter speeds.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of good things and bad things with it, but yeah, it's great fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for calling in, because now you've got me even more excited about getting my camera converted.
I thought it was a bit easier to explain it. It'd take me too long to try and type it in.
Yeah, exactly.
The phone call's easier.
That's it. And that's why we got the phone line. That's
Yeah.
I wish more people would call in. Lucinda thinks it should be the new format. She says everyone should call in and explain their images. I love hearing everyone's perspective.
You'll be here to midnight.
That's right.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
No worries. But
Thanks for calling.
If you want to know, just give us a bell.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
See you, David.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Just have to, How good.
Yeah.
How
So
good.
good.
Great image.
I can't stop looking at
Look
this
it.
image. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a banger.
Yeah.
It's a banger.
Incredible.
I was thinking about, after I got back from Bali, I was like, I've got to organise to do that camera, but I've got so much going on and stuff. But I think I've just got to make it happen, because I know it'll take them a while to book it in, because they're usually pretty busy. So I've just got to book it in and do it. And because I would have loved to have it on the weekend, but yeah. Anyway.
Yep. Nice.
Quick comment from Robin Aldridge. Toner G, who created CLIR, did a white balance for my full spectrum camera, which I had converted in Melbourne. Tony did a number of different profiles for different cameras that he created. It was much better than the one I achieved. Whatever you can't get from Melbourne, you can get through Kalari Vision. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was going to get the camera converted at Imaging by Design, and then Kalari Vision sells the filters, I think, that I need and stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah.
yeah,
And you
that's
can
the
just
plan.
order those off their website, can't you?
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
But they're often out of stock of various ones, which is annoying. Only because if I get it done, I'm like, all right, now I want everything, and they probably won't. Yeah, I think some of them you have to wait 6 weeks for and stuff like that. But that's it's all part of the fun. Build the suspense.
That's right.
Okay,
Let's look at another image
let's do it.
from Parabellum Collectibles.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Justin and Greg. Once again, I will be submitting some images for your enjoyment and judgment. As to your question, Greg, from last week, this was my first trip abroad and was to just explore the more regional and cultural areas of Japan. The wildlife was the bonus to the trip. All planned by myself with no tours, and 25 days from Kagoshima to Mount Fuji, then back to Osaka. 25 days. Oh,
The dream.
the dream indeed. All images were shot on the R7 Canon with a Sigma 16-300 f3.5 to 6.7 DC OS CRFS. Gosh, they're greedy with their titles, aren't they, Sigma? This week, I'm submitting images from Kagoshima, a large city on the southern tip of Kyushu. The subject of this week is that Sakurajima, Japan's most active volcano and one of the most active in the world. I was fortunate on my last day to drive around, and well, as you can see, it did not disappoint and has been one of my bucket list items to experience in life. This area of Japan is absolutely beautiful, and I would recommend it to anyone, especially fellow photographers. Yeah, wow, look at that. Apologize for the amount of images, but it's just too hard to send a couple of an event like this. How often do you get to photograph a volcano?
Active volcano.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's bananas.
I didn't realize there was one this active in Japan. I know there's volcanoes everywhere, but yeah, wow.
Yep. Thank you both for an amazing show, an outlet for us hobby photographers. Your input has been very valuable to me and always makes me strive to get better. Stay tuned, more to come. Well done. We certainly look forward to them. What an incredible experience.
Yeah.
Spending, almost 4 weeks in Japan. B, in such an incredible location in Japan that, a lot of tourists don't go to. And, C, to photograph an active volcano. That's incredible.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Now, I took it upon myself because I've been listening to a lot of there's a photographer called Daniel Milner on YouTube. He posts a lot of stuff. They'll be called, the videos will be called like Shifter, Daniel Milner. He talks a lot just about, they're almost like solo podcast episodes, although he'll have visuals and stuff too, but they're mostly like him talking to the camera about thoughts.
Yep.
And I actually binged a few of them. Hashem mentioned him on the show, and that reminded me to download a few for my drive on the weekend. And Dennis says Milner is a bloody legend. Yes, he is. I'm really enjoying listening to his thoughts on photography and the way he approaches things. Greg's keen to. Maybe we'll have to get him on the show. Try. He probably won't come on the show, but we could try. Shifter is awesome. This Daniel Milner challenge, Greg.
Yeah.
So he's a photo book legend, yes. And that's what's fun. And one thing that I don't know if this is something that he does or that he was taught as a photojournalist, or if it's I don't know, some other photographer popularized it, but he talked about when you have a set of images, you should, like from any shoot, you should always do what he called the 10-5-3-1, which I'm going to start doing for fun and see how it goes. But it's you must get your images down to, from a single shoot, top 10, top 5, top 3, top 1. He said it's and top 10 being the story in 10 images, top 5 being the story in 5 images, top 3 being the story in 3 images, and then top 1 being the story in 1 image. And I think it was a photojournalistic thing for publication or whatever, to be able to quickly tell the story from your set of images, depending on, is this going to be a 1-pager? Is it going to be a 1-imager? Or is it a full photo essay of 10 images? So that process, not just of taking images and not just of editing images, but selecting them down to tell a story, is something that you can learn through practice. And it's something that I've been practicing a little bit, because I was introduced to the concept more so from Chris Hopkins and Harriet Tarbuck at BFOP about sequencing and telling a story. The order of the images is important. So anyway, I took it upon myself because you said, I apologize for the amount of images, but it's too hard to send a couple of an event like this. And I took it upon myself to go, well, if these were my images, what would my top 5 be to tell this story in 5 images? So I'm going to share that with you now.
Wow. Okay.
These were my 5 images from Parabellum set that I thought told the story the best. This one's shot out of a car. I like, there was 2 shots like this. This one's got slightly more context in it, but it does have the car in it, but I thought that's fine. But I like the way that everything was framed. Then some like closer in detail.
Yeah.
The volcano erupting. This is quite a dramatic shot. I really like this one. Wider shot, more context. And then I liked this one. I'd probably put them in a different order. These are just in the number order still, that is file number order. I put them in a different order, but I liked this one just to show it sort of had this like closed up feeling, almost like closed for active volcano kind of feeling of the surrounding area. So that would be my set of 5 from this, which was I think he sent in 16. Yeah, 16.
Okay.
So I think that's a fun exercise to do because you don't lose anything. You're not deleting images or whatever. It's just going, okay, if I had to tell this story in 5, what would they be?
Yeah.
10, 5, 3, 1. Give it a try.
Yeah, it's a good process.
Definitely, it forces you to think what's important, what's the viewer getting out of each frame in this story. Yeah.
It's clever. I'll have a look into Daniel Milner. We'll see what we can do.
Work your magic. Maybe not just yet. Let's
you say that about everyone.
Let me binge a bit more of his content first.
Oh, okay. All right. You let me know when you're ready to geek out. Fanboy. Oh no, where'd you go? Oh, sorry. My computer. My computer went dark.
I was like, I'm still here. Where did you go?
I know you are. I know.
Oh, Paradigms, some boat images next week. Nice.
Ooh, very nice.
Excited. What an epic trip. Lucinda learnt from a doco photographer to print and get people to number their top 10 on the back and survey a few people to cull down. Oh, that's a clever idea. I was actually looking for 6x4 paper because that's the other thing I want to do is print 6x4s out to be able to sort of select and arrange. But I can't find the paper I like in 6x4s, and I can't find a good 6x4 paper. It's just frustrating.
Do you need a good paper if it's just for mapping out your series?
No, you're right. I should just get some cheap whatever photo paper.
It's better to do it. I mean, it's not like you're framing them and hanging them. This is to help you reach a point.
Yeah, I just thought if I was wasting my fancy inks anyway, which I've been printing. Actually, I'll show you. Let's do my image next. I've been printing some stuff. I had a lot of troubles with my printer the other week. I was going to throw it through.
It's all I hear from you.
It kept putting smudges on some of the images, which was really frustrating. Which I don't know. You won't be able to see them. Here's a really bad one. It was like from the rollers. Will you be able to see this? I don't know. Obviously, it's
in the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's causing that?
That would have been from the rollers or something. That only happened once. That was pretty bad.
It's terrible.
So that, but then it did it lightly on this one, and then on these ones, I could see really faint, like light lines. You won't be able to see them, so I won't even try and show you. But that was really frustrating me. But while I was playing around with it, I printed out some of those skate photos we looked at last week or whatever. I really liked the look of them printed. I'm glad I went through and re-edited those. That was fun. And
that's cool.
And then my image for this week, which is a photo I took in Surabaya in East Java, which is this one, but I'll show you it in a digital so you can actually see because I want to get the feedback from the chat. This one. So it's this skeleton of a building, just this abandoned building in amongst this metropolis. And it always blows my mind when I see stuff like this because you just don't see this in Australia. Like the building's been there long enough that it's been abandoned long enough that, where are we? Where's the building? You know, they've spray painted 1-story high letters on 16 floors. Like this thing's been sitting there for a long time.
Yeah.
So, and I really liked the scene, but I took it. This is uncropped. So this was at 70 mil and that was the longest focal length I had. And I like the colors and the framing of the building on the left-hand side. But when I cropped it out, does that just make the actual subject of the photo that much better? So
I think it does.
That
and the building and the cloud especially. I find looking at the full version with the building on the left that the beautiful color of it is too distracting and takes away from what most people would assume is your true subject, which is the abandoned building. Yeah, I mean that's just my view. I think cropped is better.
Yeah, I think you're right for this. I think I was drawn to the really nice colors on that building on the left, but that's not the subject, and it's it's taking away from it because it's just this thing on the left is it's so interesting that you get drawn to it, and you're probably not supposed to.
Yeah,
that's that sun glistening on it. But okay. So it's unanimous. I should have just cropped it to start with. And honestly, if I had a longer focal length, I probably would have shot it like this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's not like I'm, choosing something that I didn't really think. It was more just I was trying to make the best of what I had in the moment.
Yeah,
and I usually try to stick pretty close to what I shot. I don't crop a lot. But, Okay.
Yeah, I think it works better like this, but,
Schmidt says likes the contrast on the building on the left with the lights. Yeah, and that's what. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I got that's what I kept getting to. I'm like, but I do like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phil Thompson's cropped is better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
John Latimer like the crop. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Lots of votes for crop.
David Leparati says having tactile printed images is a great benefit to your photography. I agree completely.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yes. Printing.
Yep. I don't do it nearly enough.
No. You have to send stuff to me that you need printed, and I can print it. Then you can, come and get it.
Yeah. All right.
Like a really frustrating print process. Like get a train, 4-hour return train ride to pick up your prints.
Pick up my
convenient
print that's got smudges and shitty lines in it and Canon colors.
Yeah, look, sorry. Yeah. There's no guarantee of quality in this
there's not.
House.
Yeah.
You get what you get.
I think someone there said just get it from Kmart. Get your 4x6s done at Kmart.
Nah, it's just annoying. Dennis has got a box of 5x7s that sits near his printer, and I'll quickly knock one out and whack it in a frame for a quick and dirty gift. Yeah, it's a good idea. What paper do you use for the 5x7s? Do you remember, or are they just something you found? Okay. Should we crack on with a few more images?
Yeah. Let's look at Andrew Connor's image next.
Alrighty.
Okay. G'day, Justin, Greg, and anyone else there this week. I remain firmly obsessed with capturing our feathered friends, and this is probably my favorite cocky image taken so far, taken just the other day. Kind of sums up their character for me. He or she has just launched from the tree, so purposeful, and as usual, was telling the world all about his presence in that so subtle way. Shot on an OM5, 100 to 400, shot at 300, and cropped. F6.3, 1/2000th shutter, and ISO 250. Keep up the great work with this show. I watch each episode over a couple of mornings on the train to work. Oh, nice. And unrelated, but now seriously looking at those C-Star astro telescopes after the interview with Andy Campbell. Photography, the obsession that just continues. Indeed.
Yep, that was one that I had to say. I was like, "Ooh, telescope." Nope.
Yeah. You can't go there.
You can't. Not even going to entertain it.
I will say this though. I've been following a lot. I've started following a lot more deep space astrophotographers on Instagram, and I've come up with a couple that I think might be worth getting on the show in time. But yeah, like just that deep space stuff is just bananas.
It is.
Especially when they throw in all the science behind it, like the numbers and the distance and the time it would take to travel, and it's just staggering.
Yeah,
absolutely
crazy.
Staggering. Yeah,
I think expression on this cockatoo's face is also staggering. Look at it. Yeah. It's like it's coming straight at us. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
like what they say here. Greg Carrick, the teenagers of the bird world.
Yeah. He's also going out with C-Star tonight. He's going to go and do a shoot.
Yes. Yeah. Well, keen to see what you get. Yeah, beautiful shot, Andrew. That's really nuts. Great. Especially to get it just launching like that. You don't have a lot of time to react.
Yeah.
So great.
Full of character.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm glad it didn't come at you.
Yeah. What have we got next? Gosh, we've still got a few to go. Let's look at Greg Carrick's because he's got to go soon. He's got to go do his shoot.
That's
or whatever
true.
he's doing.
He does. Before we do that, Phil Thompson says a real character shot of the cockatoo. The subtle lighting of the wings gives just enough detail. Yeah, I think that's probably the thing because you often see them backlit, like bird shot. You get a lot of backlit bird shots when the sun's out and the blue sky. But seeing the clean details of the feathers underneath is actually it's a treat.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, great.
All right, let's look at crackers. Taken at a street party in Mount Evelyn back in 23. Lots of old cars, but I wanted a bit of a story rather than pics of engines and paint jobs. So this one tells me of the relaxed companionship of like-minded people enjoying their hobby. Taken with the Fujifilm GFX 50R, probably with the Pentax 50 F2, shot at 1/125th, ISO 125, and a black and white square crop in camera.
Nice, in camera.
Yeah,
love it.
It's got that gorgeous gritty contrast that he just chef's kiss. He just masters every shot when he does this.
He sure does.
I've been trying to edit heavier with black and white images lately. I've been trying to sort of replicate a bit of this stuff, and I keep sliding those sliders, and I just, oh gosh, is that too dark? I just, but it looks good.
Sliders, his sliders go to 11.
They do.
He's got a different version of Lightroom.
Yeah, indeed. But that's amazing. I love it, and it does tell a story.
Yeah, and a bit timeless too, which is nice.
Indeed. Yeah. Amazing. Nice work, Greg. What's next? Chris Nielsen. Hi, everyone. Continue. I'm losing my eyesight. Curious to hear what you think of my image. Shot this weekend at the famous church on the Ohitu Peninsula near Auckland. It was only meant to be partly cloudy, but I caught the last of the light before the clouds rolled in. Shot on my trusty D500 with the 16-80. Oh, sorry, it happened again. 2.8-4. Sorry about the yawn, everybody.
What do I think of your image? I love it.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Beautiful sky.
The contrast is beautiful.
Exactly, because the white church it's on that drab grey. It's and the clouds, all the lines of the clouds seem to be either they're sort of like it's like they're emanating from the church. The lines. So up here, up here. It's
they seem
everything's leading you into this beautiful white church on otherwise what looks to be sort of a little bit of an isolated landscape.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's in New Zealand, but it's got a very Scandinavian vibe to it too.
It definitely does. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah.
You could almost imagine it with one of those, when like a really long exposure sky, when it's got the, a bit of motion in the clouds almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What a great scene. So curious. I dig it.
Yeah. I dig it a lot. That's great. Print. Do it. Print it.
Bruce Moore wants to see it in the infrared. Agree. That'd be cool. David Leparati loves the black and white.
Yeah.
LPG 8L. Nice shot. So nice. Great leading lines in those clouds, and the contrasting light on the church goes well together. Yeah. Bruce Moore says, nice angle on the church. Feels like a 3-point drawing. That's true, actually. I hadn't even considered that, but it's it's just right.
Yeah.
For the character and the shape of that church. Because, any more to the side and it might be too much of a obvious quarter shot.
Yeah.
And obviously front on would be a completely different feel, losing those windows down the side.
Yeah. Well, that perspective draws you into the building, and then the clouds kind of push you back out again. You've got this constant kind of motion in the image. It's just beautiful. Yeah, very cool.
Gareth Davies says hello. That's a nice photo.
Indeed.
Gareth. Cool. Shamit Shah.
Shamit Shah.
Where are you?
Hi, Justin and team. I don't know what you're going to mention. Please see attached 2 images which I took last year at Walyunga National Park. They were both taken with a Nikon D60, 300mm, f5.6, 1/400th of a second ISO 400. Just trying not to yawn. The first picture is of a white-faced heron, and the second one is that of 2 white-billed spoonbill birds. Thanks and regards, Shamit. Thanks for sending these in.
Ooh, I like the spoonbill one with the reflections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, I think this does have a reflection in it, but it's not quite as obvious because it's lower in the frame.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know what this would have looked like. Yeah, had you aimed down just a little bit and included more of the water in the frame, similar to this one, whether that reflection would be more obvious, or because the bird's mostly grey, maybe, and because it's not getting the full reflection because it's set back on the sand a bit, maybe it wouldn't be obvious. I don't know. There might have also been stuff in the water that you're trying to avoid, or who knows. But yeah, I think this composition with the reflections and more of the water in the foreground is cleaner, and I think just highlights the birds a little bit more. What do you think?
Yeah, it does, because the contrast between the white birds and the negative space is really strong, and so it kind of draws you in to try and work out what's going on in the frame. Where does the reflection start and the real bird stop, and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah,
I think it is also fortuitous, but that they're white, whereas this, I mean, the background is a different color, but this one blends in just a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more.
If anything, I would be interested to see if cropping that to either square or horizontal and chopping out some of the top would actually elevate the image a bit.
Yeah, just really play around with it. And that's something you can do too, like crop heavy to play around with framing, even though you know, okay, this is too much of a crop for it to really look, you might be cropping beyond what your sensor is really going to enjoy, and it might look a bit pixelated. But even to sort of simulate longer focal lengths of lenses, to think, okay, so if I've been thinking about getting something that goes to, to 400 or whatever, what would I have been able to achieve with that lens? Would it be worth it? And that sort of stuff. Can be fun. Playing around with cropping is fun. That's something I want to talk to Jerry Jonas about on Thursday, because he had a whole session in how did it do it? I need to remember. I'll talk to him about it on Thursday. We all sent him photos before the workshop of photos that we'd taken, which he used to get an idea of where we were at and what we could improve on. But then I'm sure he did this. Just basically, we all sat there for like an hour while he cropped live in front of us all of our photos.
Oh, really?
And cropped to the point where it was like, some of them you could have cropped it like that in post and been fine. Some of it was like, I would have framed it like this and been like, so instead of here, he would be like crop to here, crop to this, or crop, and it was super interesting to see the way his brain worked with a scene compared to what we had just thought, oh yeah, that's how you take this photo. Yeah. He was just like, it was a fun exercise. It's sort of, you can do it with your photos anytime you want. Just jump into Lightroom, just start cropping, just being like, ooh, that would look cool. I'd need a different lens, or I'd need to move over there or get way closer. But unfortunately, it's hard to uncrop. To make them bigger. Yeah,
but you're right though. There is a lot to learn from just being a little brutal with some of your images. Going in with a really heavy crop, going in with a heavy black and white overlay. There's nothing stopping you from experimenting with those, and as a result, that's often how we develop our own style.
Yeah.
So never be shy of experimenting with that sort of stuff.
No.
But amazing. Let's look at some mediocre images from Dennis Smith because they're never good.
Yeah,
They're never good.
he never sends us in just amazing images.
No. All right, Dennis. Here are 4 images. Oh, great. 4 images created at a good friend's durational performance here in Adelaide. She is in this room 7 hours a day for 40 days, moving, interacting, holding space for those who come to see. Wow. It is a complex performance for her and everyone who comes. I spent 7 hours in there with the 2 of them this week. Time to breathe into the performance and find the right moments. These were all shot wide open, I should say, at high ISO 3200 and 6400 on the Q3. It was super dark. They are imperfect, which is perfect. And there is a wild video coming from the sessions, and I will be back many times. Let's have a look.
Yeah, these are great. 7. So what are
you going to let the rest of us see them, or are you just going to talk about it?
You didn't tell me they weren't up on the screen.
I was reading the thing. You had one job.
I'm looking at these images like, wow, these are amazing. Great work. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Nice work.
Look, I can't get it right every time. All right, let's go back to this. This is number 1.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Oh, the way that the light moves along that line. Like it's not just a constant, like it's different levels of brightness and glow. That's gorgeous. And the way the light behind her head.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Dan, that's amazing.
Yeah, and this one too.
He's just dropped a comment saying I made about 1,500 images on that day.
Wow. Yeah, this one's just haunting.
Yeah.
I really love that. I think the motion, I don't know. Yeah, it's like halfway between beautiful and disturbing in a great way.
Yeah.
Sort of like maybe now that I know what's happening too, it's like it somehow conveys the 7 hours a day for 40 days. Sort of.
Yeah.
Wow.
And shot on a fixed lens camera. Granted, it's a Q3 and you've got a lot of megapixels to play with, but regardless, the camera itself introduces limitations. And this is obviously a fairly dynamic space. And I love that. I love the idea of taking a very simple photographic mechanism and applying it in a very complex way. And I think Dennis does that in spades.
It certainly helps you push your ideas in the sense that you've got this tool with a lot of limitations in it. So you start thinking about more other ways that you can work with it to create different looking images. So you're not just shooting the same thing over and over for 7 hours. Yeah.
And I would imagine the first thing that Den does is he doesn't see the Q3 as a mechanism with limitations. I'm sure he probably, whether he knows it or not, probably sees it as a limitless opportunity.
Yeah. Phil Thompson says, Mr. Smith, you've done it again. Incredible set of images, and that reddish light is amazing. Schmidt-Shah says, wow, Dennis, Wizard of Light. Third one is spiritual. Super cool, says Bruce. Very cool.
And like a Reds, come
on. Dennis says, I wanted to send so many, but hard selected. Yeah, it's part of the process, and it's a very important part of the process, and you're a master at it.
Amazing.
Having the time to really find the moments that mattered, breathe into it. Yeah, spending that day there, that's really cool.
Yeah, forcing yourself to slow down.
Yeah. All right.
Wonderful.
Greg Carrick's off. He says, bye boys and girls. Catch you on the flip side. Well, we should power through it too. I gotta get to bed.
Yeah, I got an early start tomorrow. Lots going on.
Next one.
All right. So next up we have Tweak Productions, Jamie Vandenbrink. A little greedy on the names there, Jamie. Spent the week in Laurieton on the New South Wales North Coast. Beautiful spot for landscape. Have taken so many this week, it was hard to choose one. This one was taken at the Wash House Beach, Camden Head, a popular spot in the afternoon for people walking their dogs. I love the silhouettes, layering, and the golden hues. Yeah, that's crazy good light, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me sing. This was taken.
I was just going to say, I love that the subjects are all clearly separated and visible, the dogs and the people, which always makes silhouettes work. You know, when people are sort of blobs and blend into each other, or the dog blends into a person. But yeah, you can see limbs, you can see what's happening, a little bit of action. I think that really,
and that tree on the
makes this
left.
image. Yes. Yeah. And
how cool is
the
that?
The row of trees on the right as well. Yeah. Just great.
Gosh, you could just keep looking at this all day, couldn't you?
Mm.
Your eye just travels all around it. Where was I? This was taken on the Canon R5 Mark II. We all make mistakes. With the EF 100-400L Mark II and a Haida, Haida. I've never heard of that brand. CPL and a variable ND filter. Settings, 50th of a second, f11, 640 ISO. Have a great show.
Well, thank you. Thanks for sending this in, because it is beautiful.
Yeah. Gorgeous camera. Gorgeous image, not camera. It's a Canon. It's not gorgeous. Print. Definitely print.
Print. Yeah. Dennis says the juxtaposition of the gold and the cool water. Yeah. That sort of orange and blue.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
So many layers to it.
Yeah. And a lot of people talking about the lines. Felicity says the shore leading you up to the people and the dogs, layering in the golden light and the tidal lines, Phil Thompson says. Very, very beautiful.
Indeed. Well done.
Tonight's been a bit of a winner of images.
A banger fest.
A banger fest. Just out of control.
We should make that into a t-shirt. Up next, Felicity Johnson. The other day, I headed to the Melbourne Zoo. It feels like, Felicity, that every day, not every other day, but every day, you're somewhere new with your camera. And I love that for you. The other day, I headed to the Melbourne Zoo, got some shots of the male lions. Not as sharp as I would like, but I like them. The lions were quite distance away, and I had to shoot through glass, smeared with hand marks from visitors, and a little monkey poo. I'm off to South Africa. We hate you. Next year with a couple of friends. So he's hoping for some wild shots. Indeed, this one was taken on the Nikon Z8 with a 180 to 600 millimeter.
Wow.
It's quite imposing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's an imposing. It's very Jay Collier, who we had on the show. Did we? Were you? Might not have been.
No, it was before me.
On the show, it was before. It was one of our very early interviews. Jay does a series of these shot in Africa. I can't remember how many he said. They're like this though. Fill the frame portraits. Different ones with different scars and stuff like that, and they've all got this same. That just, I don't know. They just stare straight through you. You know. Yeah. Like
you just meet to them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done, Felicity. I hope you can get something like this in the wild. That would be an amazing experience. But great work getting it at the zoo too, because you've got no control over what they do. The animals, they cruise around. Sometimes they just snooze. So
especially at a zoo.
Yeah. Dennis Smith says Jay is a bloody legend. Anyone who loves wildlife should go down that rabbit hole.
Indeed.
Yeah, Jay's over there at the moment, I think. I'm pretty sure he's posting stuff from there. He does tours over there every year. But his series on lions, the portraits of lions is crazy. Oh, yeah. Well, no wonder Felicity says, I've done a couple of workshops with Jay. He is fantastic.
Of course you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. Dennis, suggestion from Dennis, I reckon that lion image is a good candidate for the clarity slider. Yeah, or even I've found doing, obviously dog portraits aren't quite the same as something that could literally eat you, but using selective, like brushing some clarity and texture in certain points, but not doing everything can be really, really powerful. Sort of subtle editing on an image like this. I even usually bring the global clarity and texture down a touch to start with, and then brush
just
it
bring
in
other
on
bits
the
up.
areas that are in other parts. Yeah, and play with it. like
Yeah,
that.
I've never thought to
That's
do
what I
that with a
mean.
mask.
Yeah, it's very handy on like textures of fur and things like that, and around the nose and different, like around the eyes, to bring your eye to certain points, but
Yeah.
without over sharpening the whole image. So yeah,
Yep.
there's definitely things you could play with. But
I might try that
otherwise,
with the
great.
cat photos.
You should do a series on the cats like this, where it's just their like face just staring into your soul.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give that a shot. Good suggestion.
Great work, Flick, as always. Thank you for sending it in.
Up next, Phil Thompson. Hi, Justin and Greg. I got out on Saturday night, not long after sunset, and was able to capture some of the Aurora action that had been happening for some hours. We had cloudy skies here for a while, which were beginning to break up. So I headed down to a property in Conaware that I have access to, and was able to get a number of shots like the first one. Where the property is, I often have to contend with the lights of Torquay, particularly if there are low clouds. The second shot, oh wow. The second shot is one that I captured a little further west at Petival on a country road. As the skies were clearing from the west or right-hand side of the photo, this one was taken at a point during a major or storm level aurora around 9:15. Wow, look at that color.
It's cool.
Isn't
And
it?
you got light pollution on the left-hand side, I assume, but then you got a light kind of streaking up from a shed or something in the distance, but then the beautiful, like a part of the Milky Way up the top, and the aurora coming out from clouds. Like there's a lot going on here, and the leading lines. It's like an explosion, a night sky explosion.
Well, I think that's the lights of Torquay, because he goes on to say, I decided that the lights of Torquay weren't too bad when looking at the back of the camera, and they added some sort of perspective. I did go to another location further west near Mauriac, but by the time I got there, the action had subsided. This was shot on a Pentax K1 Mark II with a Pentax 15-30, 8-second shutter speed and 10 seconds respectively. Aperture f2.8, ISO 6400, and the white balance was at 4000K. I also ran them through DxO Pure Raw to reduce the noise. As always, thanks for doing the podcast, being informative, having great guests on, and having a platform community for photographers. Well, it's our bloody pleasure.
Yeah, well, thanks for sending in the photos too.
Yeah,
without you, we
make it
wouldn't
all
have anything
worthwhile
to talk about. But yeah, this is great. Yeah, the light pollution. I definitely think, obviously, if the light pollution wasn't there, it would be a great photo too. But it certainly isn't bad. It's just it adds a different like level, because you can see the city down the bottom, so it's obvious what's happening. But then to have that aurora just poking through the clouds, glowing behind everything.
Yeah, and I like the way it bleeds from the orange into the purple.
Yeah,
I think that it does add depth and perspective.
Yeah, very cool.
Actually, I saw a thing, I think it was on Instagram. It was a video about complaining about all these companies are planning on launching, tens and hundreds of thousands of mini satellites for communication and all sorts of stuff, and how the astro community at all levels are, kind of pushing against it, because it's just making it harder and harder to get clean astro shots when you've got all of these streaks and light pollution and coming from outside of the atmosphere. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I can see both sides of it, because on the other hand, where we were over the weekend, there was zero phone reception for a race that had 600 participants riding 40-minute loops around a track doing very high speeds. But there were Starlinks everywhere that people were using for all sorts of reasons. So it's like, on the other hand, the technology that it's provided is amazing, but it does suck when you try and take a nice sky photo and you get just streaks everywhere and you're like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Lucky last.
Yeah, and then there's that one other one as well from Peter. But yeah, let's do Nev.
All right, let's do Nev. Neville, the story, salmon holes. What's a salmon hole? Is that the name of the place? Must be. This place is a place of danger, and many people have drowned slipping off that rock, chasing fish. I was asked to create an image that shows the danger of this place. So using a half-second exposure almost gets the wave to pause and bare its teeth. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's just the right amount of motion for it to look angry, but not, because otherwise if it gets too smooth, you start losing the anger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool. Tech and settings, Fujifilm GFX 100S Mark II and a GF 100 to 200 with an ND 3-stop filter. Shot at f14, ISO 100, and the shutter was half a second. Perfect timing, I say.
Nice.
Yeah. And as Felicity's just pointed out, there's this beautiful contrast between the orange and the blue, or the greeny blue in the middle, and the orange on that. Is that a rock above?
Yeah,
on the left.
This rock in the back here.
And there's sort of like a golden hue in the water as well.
Yeah, beautiful colors. He knows how to get out at the right time of day.
He does.
That's for sure.
He knows his subject really well. Because he's out there, every weekend doing this, which is amazing.
He says, added some texture and clarity into the face of the wave to almost give it a claw-like effect. Yeah.
Yep. Very cool.
David Leparati says, nice colors. And Phil Thompson says, the motion on the water is cool. Also a nice wave face. Makes me want to get back on the kneeboard. Do you
cracking shot, Nev?
Yeah, great shot. Thank you for sending it in.
Oh yeah, I've got to do a thing, don't I?
The words for this last photo.
Yeah, I do here somewhere. This is the one from Peter.
Yes.
So you guys may have remembered after we came back from the Leica event last week. Anyway, whenever it was. We were talking about a guy we both met who was dressed a little like a farmer. Amazing man, very, very knowledgeable, and knew his gear, knew his cameras, loved his Leicas. Anyway, so we've been talking and he sent me a couple of photos. He's been making larger size pinhole cameras, like even like large format size pinhole cameras, and taking them out into the Dandenongs and, grabbing these amazing shots. Anyway, so as I said, we've been talking back and forth, and he sent through this image. I thought, let's bring it up tonight. Let's look at this person, Peter Kinchington, and this is a portrait appropriately titled Me. Hi again, Greg. I watched your recent podcast and it was good cheese. We're talking about the cheese at the Leica event. I'm 68. Regarding Leica cameras, and I have many other brands ranging from Olympus to Hasselblads, they have never been techie, but solid performers, and agree with Justin that their appeal is in their ergonomics and color science. When the M6 came out in the 80s, I bought one with a 35 1.4 lens and shot Kodachrome with it. You have to see these slides on a light box to see how eye-popping they are. I sold the camera because I needed a lights microscope for my scientific photography. I also have Leica ultra vivid binoculars for bird watching, and they are great for low light under the tree canopy and at dawn and dusk. These are excellent for spotting feather details and identifying species. When I worked down at Queenscliff near Geelong in the 80s in the marine labs, I used R-series Leicas. I still have an R3 mod. The lenses were superb, and they did have long lenses then. I used a 400 and a 560mm lights lenses. I like the old German glass, and one of the important features of the new Leica lens lineup is that they are creating a spheric element using hot glass, 700-degree hot glass, in a molding process. So they're not carving, waste off
grinding glass.
Yeah, not grinding glass. They're actually molding it. They're pouring it, which is incredible. This, along with the new AF motor design, has allowed for more compact lenses. And I tend to like my old manual focus lenses because they are much smaller than AF lenses and include a lot of information on the lens itself, set with all those markings and guides. Where was I? Anyway, so this is Peter's self-titled image me.
Which is very cool. And Dennis says,
shot in 1951. What?
No. It's a 1951 model camera.
Thank you. Sorry.
How old do you reckon he was?
I don't know.
If he looked like this in 51.
Yeah.
And he's aging well.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Just a really, awesome. Really interesting character to meet. And now he's part of our community, which is great.
Exactly. Thanks for sending in an image into the show. Send some more in, Peter, please. Yeah. We'd love to see them. And everyone that sent in images tonight, it was awesome. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I thought this show was going to be done by 9 o'clock, but no.
You say that every week.
Too many great images.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
But
do you sense? Sorry, you go and you finish your thought.
No, I was just going to say I do have to go to bed though. But
yeah, same.
Go. What?
I just feel like that amongst the people that are sending in images, the caliber just seems to be creeping up. People are being brave. People are pushing their craft. They're looking for feedback, which is a huge step in improving your photography. And I think that's amazing. I think that's wonderful. And it makes me happy that we were able to create this environment, this space where people can do that safely.
Born 1958.
So, there you?
Is that you? Cool.
I think it might be. Hey, we got to your image. Lucky last.
Well, thanks. That's awesome. Put a face to the name to the YouTube handle.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, it's awesome. I think, the level of photos tonight was just, off the charts. So I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, same.
Good job, everyone.
Indeed.
This team's going places.
Yeah. But that pretty much brings us to the end of your images. And I dare say, given that we both have an early start, that might bring us to the end of this episode of the Camera Life podcast, Random Photography Show. As we mentioned at the start, we do this every week. We go live every Monday evening at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And every Thursday morning, we interview an amazing photographer from locally and abroad to unpack their story and learn what makes them tick and what makes them hunt light. And so that's at 9 a.m. every Thursday morning, Australian Eastern Standard Time. And again, all of our podcasts are live because we want you, the community, to be involved. You can jump in the chat, you can ask questions, and on Monday nights, you can even call us and have a chat live on air, like an old school radio show. I love it.
You can actually call us during the other interviews too, but I just don't tell anyone that because I don't know. What if people try and call and talk to Jerry Jonas live on the air? What would he think? We just get random phone calls during the show. We'll see.
Yep. No, it'll be an experience he won't forget.
Dennis made a good point here with his comment. Ad read. Yeah, we haven't actually mentioned the sponsor of the show at all tonight. That's pretty silly of us. If you would like to support the show, but you more so would just like an amazing camera strap, go to luckystraps.com. We make the greatest camera straps on the planet. Leather, quick release, anti-theft, cut-resistant webbing, locking quick release system. They're amazing. They fit on any camera almost other than the Canon R50 or something because they made tiny little slots. But anyway, your Leica SLs, your Canons, your Nikons, your Fujifilm X series and GFXs, it just slots through there. It doesn't leave any dingly-dangly dongles on there either. It's just you can put it on or you can take it off. And when it's off, it's off. Anyway, ad read done.
Yeah, well done. Well played.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I think we need to call it. Thank you to everyone for watching us tonight. Just a reminder, once again, we have Jerry Jonas coming up on Thursday morning. If you give us a like for this episode, it helps us out a lot. Don't forget to subscribe and tickle the bell icon to always be notified. And that way you'll get a notification in your time zone when we're next going live. But we'll see you on Thursday.
Dennis says, see you in the morning. We will, Dennis. We'll see you.
Will.
8 a.m. Robin Aldridge, thanks for another great show. David Leparati says, love the new show format. Thanks, everyone, for another great show. Yeah, thanks. We love it too. I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
Shamit, great effort. Thank you. Thank you for sending the photos in. Bill Thompson, another fantastic show, guys. Incredible colour of photos from everyone. Felicity says, another great session. Night all. Tweak Production says, smash that like button. Yes, please do that.
Thanks, Tweak.
Nev Clark says, I think it creates a deep sense of community when you see someone's image and see how they're thinking about it. It's an extension about personality. Bruce Moyle, thank you.
Thanks, Brucey.
Paul, great stuff. Dennis, good night. Philip Johnson, good night. Tweak Production said, awesome self-portrait. Yeah, it was a great self-portrait. I should do one of those. Musician Luca, great show, new subscriber. Well, thanks.
Hey.
Don't be a stranger. Send a photo in.
Yeah.
And everyone.
How do they send photos?
Tweak, email them to justin@luckystraps.com.au and just tell me about the photo. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Gareth, good night.